Good everyone, welcome to this video. Today we have a premium series episode on the Chinese A6M2 Zero. This is an aircraft that really needs no introduction. It's a aircraft that you see across three different nations at this point. Those being USA, China, and of course, Japan. This is an aircraft that is actually a little bit more special than the American one purely because it carries bombs and, well, I'm giving the point to the US one because that has more interesting history. I literally cannot find any history on this specific aircraft. Of course, the Chinese did capture a few of these. It's just I don't know much about that. I'm afraid I've not been able to find really anything about it. So the Chinese A6M2 was introduced not too long after the Chinese tech tree was actually added to the game. And then about 3 months later, it was put in the war bond shop because they realised people weren't buying the damn thing. But I guess they did that to just stir up some hype, I suppose. So the A6M2 is a pretty common aircraft that you'll run into around this sort of BR range, as well as its other family brethren, that being the A6M3 and A6M5 variants accordingly. Now, the A6M2 for the Chinese tech tree is a little bit more interesting, as I said. So as we all know, the conflict in China typically took place over land. However, this is actually a navalized Zero and doesn't have, well, it's not had the tail hook removed, which I would probably do just to save a little bit of weight. From what I can tell, it's because the Japanese bases that were operated were pretty close to the like the mainland of China and stuff like that. So it does kind of make sense that they would use the navalized one because then you can launch them from carriers. But of course, that's my rough guess. I'm guessing at this point because, like I say, I don't really know a lot about this specific Zero. But otherwise, it's a pretty nice aircraft. The decal on the tail is not part of the aircraft. This is a special decal you could unlock when not long after this aircraft came out. But this is pretty good. Like, it's not a bad aircraft at all. And of course, being in the Chinese tech tree, you do have access to some rather, shall we say, creative choices in terms of your potential teammates, but also just overall good aircraft. I mean, Kai 61, P-47, like, you have a good backup here. I mean, there is one stinker, which is this pile of crap, but, well, that's just what happens, unfortunately. As previously mentioned in this aircraft review a few years ago, the price of this vehicle has not changed. It is 1,300 Golden Eagles and is a perfect pickup if you want to get through I nearly said Japan then. China quickly. Because not only does it get into the rank 4 props, which are also pretty solid, it's just an overall nice aircraft to play. And even Harry has gotten a kill, which Harry has a... Harry's bomb dropping accuracy is not exactly his strong suit, but even he's gotten a kill with these fart bombs, and it was on a Sherman, I think it was. So if he can do it, you can definitely do it. Anyway, let's get into a match and let's see how this aircraft's doing, because I've not actually really played the A6M2 for China for a little bit. Obviously, I've recently played the Mod 11 A6M2 for Japan, and that is still a pretty solid aircraft. There's no sugarcoating it. That's still a pretty good aircraft. But of course, the real shadow has affected the 20mm cannons, so I'm going to run a little bit tighter convergence than what I'm used to with a Zero. I typically run 500, but I'm going to set it to 400 because I want these guns to be doing as much damage as possible. And believe me, I watched Harry's video on the Whirlwind, and that was just sad. So, what are we at? Appears to be 4-3 because we've got a Israeli Spitfire Mark 9. That's fine by me. And we've already got some Muppets shooting on takeoff. It's almost as if people can't hold their trigger these days. Right, let's get this thing into a climb and let's get comfortable. I have a lot of premiums on our team today. We've got Russian P-63s, we've got the J-26 David, the F-6C. We've got quite a few premium aircraft today, which is... I mean, it's normal, but, you know, it's a bit unusual. You don't normally see this sort of composition. Anywho, it's going to take us a few minutes to get into the battlefield. I will see you all shortly. Well, welcome back. As you can tell, the enemy team has decided to adopt a policy of If it ain't below 4K, yeah, we're just gonna go and not worry about high altitude. I don't know what they're planning here, but well, it does mean we get to clap the cheeks to some Hellcats, so yeah, let's go for it. Thank you. Must admit, I do love playing a Zero for this exact purpose. You get to clap the cheeks of dumbasses who just think, yes, let's go turn fight Spitfires and shit on the deck. Sorry I couldn't save you, Mosquito, but, well, you've been avenged. Ooh, a Thunderbolt. Nice, juicy Thunderbolt. Don't have a great angle for the cannons here, but I do have the MGs. Oh my god. This enemy team is practically dead already. That is insane. There's only 4 of them left. Like, they've just not climbed. They've just decided, yeah, we'll go on the deck and turn fight Spitfires and Zeros. Yeah, that's fucking smart. Right, let's do the old Zero trick. And he's falling for it. I love it when people fall for my tricks. This is a patented maneuver. If you want to use this maneuver, you have to pay me a small charge. All you do is you trick them into thinking you can, well, they can beat you in a turn fight, and the short answer is they cannot. It's a pretty good maneuver to have in your arsenal, that's for sure. Like, it doesn't work on everyone, because obviously everyone does know the trick of the Zero at this point. But yeah, this is kind of easy to play this thing. Oh, hello. I think this is going to be quite a short match, that's for sure. Like, this is just ridiculously short. Like, this is what happens with the Chinese Zero, unfortunately. You just face USA teams that are this fucking dumb. I mean, look at this guy. He's just taking head-ons with everyone. There we go. Nice fire. Of course, everyone's shooting through me almost to try and steal the bugger. And I didn't even get the kill. Wonderful. Thanks, Gaijin. Well, I think we're going to have to go on to another match because that was rather short, but might as well show you the results screen. But, my god. That is unfortunately just what some of your matches will be like flying this thing. You'll get in, get some kills, and then the game will be over before you know it. But there we go, top of the team, 3 kills, 1 assist, and we're practically done in like a few minutes of getting into the battlefield because that's just how it goes sometimes. I mean, heck, that was like a 6-minute match or something like that. Yeah, 7.5-minute match, and what? Let's call it 3 minutes, well, 2.5 minutes of that was me getting into combat. Yeah, that's exactly what this is like sometimes, but anywho, I will see you all in the second match. And welcome to the second game. As we saw with the first game, that was incredibly short, and I must admit it was still quite funny. Like, not only do I get to pull the old Zero trick out my ass, but also the simple fact of the matter is I just have a blast with Zeros whenever I take them out. And that's mostly because I kind of know what I'm doing when it comes to this, but a lot of people actually don't know how to fly Zero, and it's kind of sad, but that's just how it is. That's how it is sometimes, really. I'm already concerned because that is a I-185 with bombs strapped, but the good news is we're facing USA! So hopefully there should be a... Oh, fucking hell. Let me get at this dickhead's bay. Hold on. It's that fucking Spitfire just shooting everyone. And he's attacking friendlies. Level 7. He's got 3 kills. Come on, man. Thank God I got out of his way. I think the Sakin's about to kick his ass in a second. Yep, he is. What you're witnessing right now is natural selection. Oh, come on, Sakin. If you're going to shoot it in back, finish the job. In fact, I think the Sakin's engine is dead. No, I think he just didn't trust the LA5. Sounds about right. Right, well now that I've avoided getting TK'd, I will see you all in a few moments once we get into the match. Well, welcome back. As you can tell, this is a very different USA team. Well, I mean, it probably got influenced by the Japanese players who actually told them to climb, but we'll gloss over that. As you can tell, the vast majority of the US team right now is actually where they should be, at altitude. I know, I'm just surprised as you guys are. I'm obviously being heavily sarcastic here. Of course, when you have German mates who think, yes, I'll pull up in front of a PVD-1 and stall in front of it is a smart move, doesn't really tend to work out. And as you can tell, I'm outnumbered, what, 5-1? 6-1 if you include the Mustang off my windscreen, which I'll never catch. Yeah, I don't expect this to go very well. But that's just unfortunately what happens. So what I'm going to have to do is, since I'm never outrunning a P63, I'm going to have to get a little bit funky. So let's get into it. Nope. Saw that coming, son. Whoa, that was close. Let's see if he's dumb enough to stay in my guns. I got a crit, but that Mustang's coming back. Nope, 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 no, 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 no. Ow. Ow, needed that. Yeah, this isn't going very well, is it? I've lost half my tail. My engine is practically dead. Yeah, this is not going well for poor old Joe here. Ah, nearly had him. God damn it. I can't follow the P63 up. I'm too damaged. And obviously my tail's kind of cutting off, but, well, that's what happens when a USA team actually plays smart. I think there's another one coming in. Oh no, it's the Mustang. I'm going to have to throttle back and try and force an overshoot here. Right, might be able to thin this battle to a one-on-one. If my guns would do something, that is. There we go, and I'm dead. That's an engine fire. That's unfortunately just what happens when your guns just do no damage. You're forced to stay on target too long. And well, unfortunately the engine is completely gone at this point. But there you go. That is what happens when a USA team plays actually intelligently. Which is very rare. I'm surprised the USA team decided to do that. But anywho, let's head back to the hangar and let's conclude, because that was two very strange matches. Because, well, I say strange, the first match is pretty much normal, but second match, yeah, that is interesting, to say the least. But yeah, most matches you're going to end up having like the first, because, well, USA teams. On a very rare occasion, you'll actually have USA teams like that, and it is going to be tough. So just bear that in mind. Like, you're not always guaranteed to get dumbasses. And, yeah, even with half a tail, this thing can still do some defensive maneuvers, but don't expect it to be stellar at it. Anywho, I hope you enjoyed seeing the Chinese A6M2 in action and, well, some interesting matches we've had. Of course, now we move on from China for the meantime, because obviously we will be returned to China for the D510C once we do the loop back. And we will now be moving on to Italy, which, well, minus the fact that I forgot to put a vehicle here, we have some pretty good aircraft to take a look at. Anywho, I'll leave you all to it for today, and I will see you all on the next one.